Yes! Somebody somewhere called me a name. Hurts my feelings. I don't have any feelings. This is an inbox episode, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's inbox@techsyndicate.com. That's the email address if you guys have anything you want to send. And thanks to the person who signed me up for all the pregnancy stuff. First question is from Shannon. Hi, Shannon. What's up? Hey, Logan, was curious as to how you originally got into the tech scene. So I guess we're going to start the next, reboot of the inbox with a question of the beginning of everything. So I didn't mean to start making tech videos, and a lot of you guys wish I never did, and sometimes I wish I never did, but that's a different story that I'm going to tell you right now anyway. So I started off a long time ago just being a gamer, and I realized that a lot of the games I wanted to play were on PC, and this is way back in the days of like the 286 and the 386, that hardware, when I was just a wee freaking lad, and I decided that, you know what, oh, there's also another reason. So, growing up in like a psycho-religious household and stuff, everything was evil. You know, like Mario was evil because he could drink a potion in Mario 2 and then transform into something, or he ate magic mushrooms and then transformed and grew bigger. Magic, Satan, witchcraft. So I wasn't allowed to play Mario a lot of times. I had to hide and play that. Zelda was right out. Like, hell no. Football games, too violent. Baseball, that's okay. I played baseball games on Nintendo and stuff, but even then I was limited to like 1 hour a day on a Nintendo. And I did have a Nintendo Entertainment System and also a Super Nintendo. My dad was cool. He would like sneak me games like under the door, like this is a copy of Zelda, Link to the Past. Go ahead and play that. Enjoy. And then he would like fuck off, and that would be the end of it. My mom didn't understand that you could play games on a computer. And also, we had a larger house in Kentucky because the big houses are free in Kentucky compared to everywhere else because no one wants to live there. So I had a bigger house, and the computer room was way on the other side of the house, so I could go in there at like 2 a.m. and boot up. I remember I'd bring pillows with me and lay it on top of the computer, because when you first throw the big switch, it would go boop, and like make noise, and that's the hard drive noise, and it would boot up. And then I was like, oh yeah, it's booted up. Play like Blackthorn with blood instead of the Super Nintendo without blood. And then I played a lot of the old Blizzard games. I actually enjoyed some of the Blizzard games back then, like Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 1. I played through Dune, and then I realized I didn't like the whole genre of RTS, so I started playing first-person shooters like Doom, and then discovered System Shock and Thief, Trapezoid boxes. Started playing all those games, and I used to always get the demo CDs. So that's where I started. This is a long story because this is going to be one of the only things I answer in this, but to give you guys an idea of where we're going. You got to know where you came from, know where you're going. So anyway, all that stuff happened, right? But then I really liked the arts. So I was into music, always playing music, whatever I could grab, the guitar, piano, whatever I could play, I would try to play it. So I really enjoyed that. Didn't really enjoy theater or acting, but I got into that whole stuff and realized I enjoyed like the whole screenwriting element of it, like coming up with plays and stuff. So I started writing movies and did a lot of auditioning, did a few little indie films here and there, and started working behind the scenes on a couple indie films. I did some big indie films, not big indie films. I was an extra in some big movies that came and shot and all that kind of stuff. But I started writing these scripts and showing them to people, and some of them got to like people who were actually prominent, which is hard to get people to read these things. And the responses I was getting almost every time was, hey, nobody cares about nerds, so shut up, nerd. This is all like super nerdy stuff, and we don't do movies for losers. I mean, basically, like that was kind of like what is this? Like hacking and stupidity and like, memes before memes were a thing is what I was writing. And I was like, you know what, screw you guys. I'll go make videos and we'll come into it that way. So as I was thinking, hey, it's time to start making some YouTube videos, there was an audition through acting, not through technology, for Tiger Direct, right? And I'm still going by Ward, my real name, right? And Logan's like the name I started using on camera. And I went to this audition, and I knew about building computers and stuff because I always went to LAN parties and we were like handing graphics cards around and be like, oh, you can't play this game, borrow my graphics card, which was kind of weird, but happened at a few LAN parties and stuff. And so we knew about hardware, knew how to build computers, and just, it was what I did, for fun. It wasn't like I wanted to do that for a living and stuff. I just, liked computers, like building them, but I mainly liked what you could do with them. Play games, make music, installed Cool Edit Pro, record some stupid guitar and singing like a monkey and whatever. So I liked all that kind of stuff, but I get there and like, you know, I'm on camera and they realized they like started pulling their hair out and I was like, what is going on with these guys? They were like, you know how to build you know computers? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, oh my God, they hired me right on the spot. So that kind of got me started because they were going through talent agencies and they were getting actors in there who were like, I have no idea what I'm talking about, and you want me to be, so they needed someone charismatic on camera. I guess they tried doing it the way Linus, you know, did it by coming off the sales floor, but they couldn't find anybody as charismatic as Linus. So Tiger Direct did it that way. I got a job there for a little while. First day they were like, what's your name? I'm like, Ward. They're like, that's a stupid name. Why would anybody name their child Ward? And I was like, I don't know. I like it because it's weird. And they were like, well, what other names do you have? And I was like, well, you know, my girlfriend's kid brother calls me Logan because I've had crazy hair back then and looked like Wolverine. And so they started calling me Logan. That's what stuck because that's what the technology audience knows me as. But my real name's Ward, everybody. So that's how I got started in the tech scene, right? And since then, I've been trying to transition to something creative, but there's a lot of things that go into that. First off, people you associate with, if they don't want to transition, then that's going to be a fight, which was a big public fight. Of course, you guys know, you know, not wanting to be involved in a lot of my crazy creative shenanigans or not even understanding. And if you're an artist, guys, you cannot expect anybody around you to understand what the fuck you're doing or support you until after you're done with it. And you're like, look, I made some art. I made a video game. I made this music, or I got some movie that all of a sudden got picked up and now it's a major motion picture. And all your friends would be like, we were there all along. No, you fucking weren't. Maybe some of you guys were, but most people are just going to be like, oh, this is a weird artist doing his weird fucking thing. So that's how it's going to be for most of you guys out there. If you're into creative stuff, don't sweat it. Just keep doing your thing. If it makes you happy, do it, man. That's kind of where we are now. I am doing this here. You guys noticed I've moved to a new set. And the reason is because right over there is the computer that I'm using to work on some game projects in the Unreal Engine and work on music. Got this over here too. So I wanted all this stuff to be here so I wouldn't have to go anywhere to do the hardware, which I don't really enjoy that much. I don't enjoy doing the technology and the hardware stuff. And I can do this here. It won't take up as much of my time because I'm not like going anywhere, maintaining an office and paying for an office. Well, I'll still be doing the office for other things, but that's something else. And then I can just turn back around and keep working on the thing that makes me happy, which is the game and the music and all that kind of stuff. So, job, pay the bills, fun, and creative projects that keep me up all night and I spend way too many hours working on that maybe one day will transition into a full-time thing, and then this will still be something I do for fun, maybe, but not really the technology, hardware stuff. I'll be doing mostly just like talking about what's going on in the game or talking about what I'm working on and what hardware I'm using, but not so much just like I was always a shitty reviewer, guys. I'm not a reviewer. I'm color commentary and shenanigans and that kind of stuff. I just use a lot of hardware all the time because it's a means to an end. So Shannon, that's the answer to your question. Long one, but it's a good way back. All right, so this one's from someone who didn't give me their screen name. If you guys have a screen name or whatever, let me have it, and so I can say it out on camera. But JM, whatever, I'll just call you JM. All right, don't know your real name. So Strawberry Jam says, so I came across your video in which you upgraded a ThinkPad. I was wondering if, aside from the i7 4910, if there was anything better like an upgrade to the 4910. Sorry if this is a dumbass question. I don't know much about computer stuff. Thanks. You asking dumbass questions. How dare you? Guys, there's no dumbass questions. I'm a dumbass too. Like, a lot of people think that people who do these tech videos know that much. No, we're all dumbasses. We just have little bits of knowledge here and there. And then if you do something over and over again, you get more knowledge. So no worries. If this is not your day gig building laptops, then you're not a dumbass. You may not know, you may be ignorant of certain things, but I'm sure you're smart. Wait a second. Sent from my phone. I take it all back. All right. So as far as the CPUs for this go, you can get an extreme part. There's an Intel i7 Extreme part that will go in to the T440p socket right in there. It'll work. The problem is it's going to generate a lot more heat. It's going to require more power. It's going to be throttled. I mean, the 4910 is even pushing it to its limit as far as like what you can handle without this thing being throttled. So no, I would not recommend anything better than the 4910. And I like the 4910 a little bit better than the 4900 for the same reason. It's a little lower power, even though it's still fast. It's the same speed, if not faster, but it's just a newer part. And it's going to run without being throttled all the time unless you're doing tons and tons and tons of stuff, then it might be throttled. All right, last question. This one is from Manny about the T440p again. Came across your video on YouTube while doing some research. How do you think this laptop will hold up for a cybersecurity student? These are the recommended specs. Windows 10. Yeah, I think this would be great for someone in cybersecurity. I'm not sure why you need a GTX 1060 unless you're going to be doing some brute force hacking stuff or some brute force, like trying to data number crunching, trying to get some passwords or something like that. Then, yeah, having a nice GPU is going to be a benefit, and this one is not really going to fit the bill when it comes to that. It's going to be faster than most everybody's laptop when it comes to just processing power, because that 45 watt part is nice and fast. And also, it's nice having a sleeper laptop like this, showing up and being like, hey, here's my T440p Lenovo laptop. People are like, that looks old. And you're like, no, it's not old. And it's quite fast. So I'm probably going to recommend getting one of the gamer laptops. So the Legion laptops are great because they have a professional look and build quality. They do get a little bit loud if you're doing 10 things at the same time because they are thin. So unless you're playing like games, which you're probably going to have your headphones on, you're probably going to be okay. But the build quality wins here. I've also had some good luck with the latest Acer gaming laptops, which are a little bit quieter, but they have that more of a gamer aesthetic, and they weren't quite as well built as the Legion here. So there's a few different options out there, but I would ask, hey, why do you need the GTX 1060? Like, what's that going to be for? Because they say you need it, but for just doing security stuff, if you're just doing coding, I probably do, I guess, for a lot of this stuff, for computational power. Anyway, inbox, techsyndicate.com. That's where you send your emails, inbox at techsyndicate. Head over to, we didn't get to the political stuff, but I'll get to that later. Head over to epicpants.com and grab yourself a shirt or else. And if you do not subscribe, you know what's going to happen to you? I'm going to come and I'm going to sneak into your back seat while you're asleep, at nighttime. If you don't have a car, well, then I'm just going to have to sneak into your fridge. But regardless, I'm going to have so much apple butter, and everyone knows what apple butter attracts. Apple butter attracts hyenas. So I'm going to be in your back seat, and I'm going to cover that thing in apple butter, and then I'm going to leave it slightly ajar so that when you come, the next day to go to work and you get in your car, your back seat's going to be full of hyenas. And if you don't, have a car again, it'll be your fridge. You open up your fridge, and it'll be just like overwhelmed by hyenas. And that is no laughing matter. But you guys are going to subscribe. And if you've already subscribed, do me a favor, because I talked to YouTube and they said, listen, we're not sending your videos out to anybody because they're all legacy subscribers, so it is if they didn't hit the bell. So what you need to do is just go and unsubscribe to me. Unsubscribe to Tech Syndicate, sorry. And then you'll have the pleasure of resubscribing and clicking the bell. And that is how you're going to get notified of these videos. And let's face it, these videos changed your life. And they're going to continue to change your life. So subscribe as to not feel the wrath of the hyenas and other repercussions and consequences. See you guys in the comments.